Hello Cancer, welcome to the Cosmic Jackal Tarot. I'm your host. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the reading of the new moon in Aries. It's going to be kind of quiet and my energy is going to be a little different because it's going to be a shorter reading, but it's also 1 in the morning and my neighbors are asleep, so I got to kind of keep the noise down. But I'm doing multiple readings over the weekend, so it's only going to be kind of creepy and interesting, for lack of a better word, for this reading in general. Okay, so new moons. We talked about this. They are about planting seeds, watching them grow until the full moon comes and you figure out what you have harvested. So we're going to do your moonology manifestation and see what it is that's coming towards you, or what you're trying to attract, or you send the new attention for. Okay, so you have last quarter moon in Capricorn, leave the past behind. Okay, so we definitely have Mercury in Taurus, and we also have a solar eclipse coming tomorrow. This would, or well, technically today, this would be April the 30th, but like I said, it's 1 in the morning, so in my mind, it would be tomorrow. Leave the past behind, Cancer. You may be getting a second chance at rekindling things with a person or people. Some of you thought you never get to a point of forgiveness with a situation, but enough time has passed and maybe it's you who wants to do the apologies and making things right, or it's the other person, the other party, whomever. Or you are experiencing things that trigger you to think about things from your past. Some of them really, really bad, some of them embarrassing, and then there's others that it was just entirely traumatic altogether. But then there's others of you who think that when one experience goes good, everything will go good, and you can be extremely optimistic about a lot of things, Cancer, but sometimes that optimism is mistaken for impulsive disorders. And it's not to say that you don't deserve to be happy or you don't deserve to have nice things or anything like that, but a lot of times we can get carried away with getting addicted to when things are good, and we want that momentum to keep going. But the thing is, if you're always happy, you would never know sadness or anger. You need something to balance out energies. Of course, a lot of people want to be happy all the time, but then there is such a thing as too much. So even a lot of happiness can sometimes make you very depressed, because once you get so used to something, you get bored of it and you start to question why you can't enjoy it the same anymore. But focusing more on people returning, possibly from your past, or there are certain situations that arise throughout this quarter and until the full moon, I'm just really sensing there's a lot of people that are coming back, mostly because they're noticing that your vibrations are rising. Or for some of them, something comes up and it reminds them of you, or some of them are understanding why you guys fell out and they're just hoping to make amends because they'd rather have you in their life than not at all. It's very specific for some of you. Oh, my dog's awake. All right, so we're going to do the Super Attractor deck. Let me see what I can get for you guys. What are the messages for Cancer? What are they trying to attract during the new moon? Oh, I'm so tired, but I know I can knock all these readings out before I go to bed, and I'd rather do that. That way when I wake up, I can just start editing them. Then I have some things to take care of during the day. I'm going to give you another card because this card popped out for, it popped out for Taurus, and I feel like I can do better for you, Cancer, so I'm going to just give you another card. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, 2 of them fell in a moment. Okay, I'm going to give you this one because this other one has fallen out too. So this is spiritual alignment puts my manifestation into motion. You're understanding, Cancer, that attuning to things is... There's some awkward noise in the front of the house. Actually, I'm still hearing it. I don't know what it is, but Cancer, you're understanding that the only thing that you can control is sometimes what you allow your energetic being, your spiritual self, how you allow it to attune to things. You're in control of how you feel most of the time, how you allow yourself to feel. That's what I want to say. If you allow yourself to be happy, you have no choice but to be happy. It's inevitable. It's the prophecy that has been foretold. But if you allow yourself to be sad, you're going to attune to things that make you sad. When you allow yourself to feel anger, you're going to attune to whatever makes you angry. So, what is it that you want, Cancer? That's the question that you have to ask yourself pretty often, because even though the world may be asking that of you, because you can be a very hard sign to understand, your perspective on things can be very questionable and challenging, but you like it that way. So nobody else really can interfere with what you do in life, because they just kind of move out the way. It's no sense in trying to tell you anything. You can be quite stubborn, but at the same time, it's just for your own reasons. You see things in a way that other people can't. And it's totally okay. But I think in the past you've struggled to understand how these sorts of things work. Or you're a person who, it's hard for you to get full control of your emotional self. Like, you have your outbursts, and sometimes you allow your emotions to lead the way in life, but you're understanding now, or you've understood recently, that the old way of thinking is just, it held you back for a good minute. So you want to attune yourself to things that... Bro, I swear somebody's outside my house. I just hear like all these interferences all around the house. Like, I heard somebody like over here and now over there, and I'm like, what the... It's like 1 a.m. Why would anybody be awake at this time? Anyways, as I was saying, you're diving deeper into life and your life's purpose. Like, you want to know more. So rather than doing things that your old self would probably do, you change your perspective, you change your ways, and now you want to see what else life has to offer. And by doing that, you understand that you can't do things the way that you used to, because the way that you used to do things is just not really as agreeable to you or others around you that you actually do want to be around. So I feel like you're also heeding some advice that's been given to you by people that really do care about you and want the best for you, but you didn't want to hear it in the past because, like I said, you Cancer, you see things a different way. You understand things and perceive things in a different way from others. But now it's time for you to come back down to earth and understand that you have a purpose just like everybody else, except your purpose is not over everybody else's just because you think and perceive things a certain way. You understand? You're not underneath anybody, but you're also not above anybody. You have your life's journey, your life's path, but it's up to you to decide what you want to do as far as what that could mean for you. Nobody can do it for you, and nobody can help you to understand it better than yourself. Nobody even really has to tell you anything, Cancer. You know better, but sometimes you go through this phase of feeling self-conscious, and, well, you gotta go deep and figure out why you're feeling that way. Like, you want to confront whatever energies or whatever happened that led you to believe that you have to live a life that's always careful, always planned ahead, and sometimes without the grace of others. Like, you want advice, but at the same time, like, if it's not something you want to hear, you won't take it. But then you get upset that nobody gave you advice or try to warn you or hold your hand or whatever. And Cancer, you know better. You know what you want. Nobody can want it for you. You know what I mean? So don't worry so much. Just understand that now I'm feeling you're going on the right track of understanding that life is beautiful and you want to make it into your own version of a work of art. But you feel maybe you have to buy all these expensive paints and brushes to get started so it can be beautiful. But no, you can start with the basics. Maybe you should just start with the basics right now. Then once you get a little bit more comfortable, invest deeper. But for right now, you got to figure out where to start. That's the hardest part. And sometimes starting something new, you have to let go of everything and unlearn everything that either has nothing to do with what you're trying to set out on, or it could hinder it. A lot of you do a lot of naysaying in your head and you talk yourself out of things, or you constantly compare yourself to others and you don't think you would ever be as good as another person or whoever you're influenced by. But it's all a lie. These are lies that we tell ourselves. And you're going to eventually get to a point where this no longer bothers you. It's just an old way of thinking. It's an old pattern. You can discard it at any time. But the question is, will you? Or do you need some help? And if you do need help, are you going to stop being stubborn and take it? It's totally okay to need help. You don't know everything. No one does. Only fools think they do. All right, so Cancer, that is your reading. Thank you for tuning in. I hope it resonated. And if it did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow, all those good things. If it did not, that is totally okay. Make sure to share. Maybe you're watching for somebody with Cancer in their chart, or another Cancer who was meant to see this. Maybe you're just watching to see what's going on with a fellow Cancer. And if that's the case, you ain't gotta tell me. I don't want to know. It's your business. If you would like to follow me on other forms of social media, Twitter is your best friend for keeping up with updates on this channel, my YouTube channel, well, my gaming channel, and my Twitch. Instagram is going to be your friend if you want to lurk and see what I'm doing in my personal life on a daily basis, or if you just want to be friends, let me know. If you like a personal reading, I do them, but you guys don't talk to me, so I haven't set prices or anything. Matter of fact, sometimes I wonder why I even mention the fact that I do personal readings. It's up to you what you want to do. But either way, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys for supporting me, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.